Hello, everyone. This is my pleasure today to welcome Sheldon Williams, the owner and founder of Great Insurance Solutions in Mississauga, Canada, an entrepreneur who spent decades in the insurance space and decided a few years ago to start his own insurance and recently to change his alliance with another group called Bespoke Insurance very recently. So a lot of things that we will hear from Sheldon, lots of insight. We're very excited to have you. Welcome, Sheldon, today on our podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, Francis. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So you mentioned a focus on operational improvements and growth. I think you're not the only one to think in these terms. So before we delve into this subject, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story of origin, your background?
Sure. Like many people in the insurance industry, I stumbled into the industry back in 2001, working in a call center for, at that time, was Certus Direct Insurance, then got acquired by Desjardins Insurance. So I spent some time in the call center, kind of learning the operations of insurance, underwriting guidelines and such. Made a quick diversion into the marketing department. So I got to learn about group insurance and how those products were being built with the personal insurance at that time. And then migrated over to the company side for the broker world. So enter the
Mm.
broker world working with Echelon Insurance. So did a stint there where I was a business development representative. So I was, my territory was Southwestern Ontario, visiting brokers, checking loss ratios, underwriting guidelines and such, and then migrated internally with Echelon, where I was doing more systems and structure and really trying to tighten up the organization and how they were servicing their brokers after being, with brokers for a while. Made another kind of pivot in my career where I went to the technology side and I
Mm.
worked for a broker management system. So all insurance brokers use a broker management system, and I worked for one of those companies, and that got me even more in-depth knowledge as to the workflows of insurance brokerages, their pain points, how technology can help to elevate their workflows, and how technology can help to hinder their
Mm.
workflows, especially with the integrations that take place between insurance carriers and the brokers.
Sure.
And in that journey, I actually sold a broker management system to a gentleman who was starting out his own brokerage and worked with him to launch his brokerage from scratch. Um,
Mm.
did that for a few years. Then I jumped onto another startup, helped them to launch their brokerage. And in 2019, I launched my own licensee office, so completely independent, under the Nakora International Insurance banner. Did
Yes.
that for just about 6 years and cultivated a great relationship with Robert Mills from Bespoke Insurance, who launched his own brokerage. And uh, as of last year, now I'm a partner, a division of Bespoke Insurance, and that's the origin story of Great Insurance Solutions.
Wonderful. And you told me, thank you very much. You told me that
Mhm.
your move from Nakora to Bespoke that you just mentioned now
Yeah.
was about building a more intimate partnership. So
Yes.
could you elaborate on what that means for your business model and your clients?
I guess for me, I love the broker channel. Starting off with the direct world and then coming to the broker channel, I really love that interaction that you have with your clients.
Mm.
And with the bespoke relationship, because it's a smaller operation, there's a lot more influence that I can offer and I can provide. Although I'm independent with my own division, I can still leak over some of the knowledge that I've gained over my career in
Mm.
multiple roles and help to develop bespoke to gain some more efficiencies and to become a larger, more successful brokerage that they've already accomplished and many successes so far.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So yes, building on your experience, I'd
Hmm.
like to know what are for you the most significant operational shifts or pressures that you're observing today in the insurance sector, and maybe especially concerning mergers, acquisitions, and the increasing role of technology?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of pressures for the insurance world. If we even go down to the granular details of just the implementation of new requirements, insurance brokerages and brokers now have to be a lot more cognizant on accident benefits. This is a new thing that's coming in that's very important for people to pay attention to. But on a broader scale, just the balance between having that time to spend with your client
Mm.
and the administrative portion of the business that is built in. And how do you bridge that gap with technology? And there's so many different platforms out there. There's so many different solutions out there. Which one is the right one for you? And even if it's the right one for you, does it match the culture of your organization? Will there be a high adoption rate of these products, or would they just be purchased and never used? Right. So figuring out and navigating that to make sure that your brokerage is the most efficient, the most up to date, and gives you more time to actually do what's important for a broker is spend time with the clients, make sure they have the right coverages, and make sure that they appreciate you as their leader for your insurance.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that's very clear. Yeah, regulations, obviously the need for being up to date, in terms of efficiency, but then also making sure that the programs that you pick up, first of all, fit the bill, but also get adopted internally, which of course is a big challenge that we see at Solar Express and another human company where we help organizations with change management. And then of course all of this, leading to better relationship with client, more time, more sitting and talking and listening and strategizing with them. Right.
Yes. Yes,
Good.
exactly.
Well, let's move on to operational efficiency and client relationship for a bit, right?
Sure.
So you've highlighted improving operations as a main hurdle for you and or priority for the year to come for 2026. So where do you see the biggest inefficiencies and what strategies are you implementing to exploring to minimize administrative tasks and elevate your service levels?
It's really about there's that mindset of do less and achieve more. But you can only do that if you have the right processes in place. So if there's things that can be automated that can reduce workflows, then you find a way to introduce those, monitor those, track the success of those, and then implement it properly to, reduce the amount of workload there. And then you test it, right? You say, okay, typically this one task would take us 2 hours, but if we adopt this technology and adopt this new workflow, can that bring that down now to 1 hour or even a half an hour? And that goes into the back office workflow. In terms of your customer workflow, how can you simplify that process, right? People have varying schedules. We have now the RTO where previously it would be easy to have a conversation with a client during the 9 to 5 hours because they're working from home, but now they're back in the office. So what technology can we now provide them to make it easier to communicate? Is it text message? Is it a chat bot on the website? Is it fillable forms that they can just send the information at their leisure at 12 o'clock at night if they'd like to, and then you can manage it that way. So really finding ways to deal with the client on their level. And by doing that is by building the right technology internally to streamline the processes. So when you do have time with a client, you have more time than you would.
Wonderful. Yes, that all makes very good sense. You told me you were actively immersing yourself in AI and even using tools like ChatGPT to solve some complex, comparative models. So and challenges. So how has AI specifically impacted your operational efficiency and what potential do you see for it in streaming broker workflows for private equity portfolio companies and for your own business?
Yeah, so I have to, full transparency, I'm a rookie on the AI space. Like many people, I was reluctant to adopt it. We've all heard about the movie Terminator and what's going to happen if we give too much technology power. But recently, what I've been doing is using the tool at a very basic level to just minimize the time I spend on reviewing documentation to analyze risk. So perfect example, a large commercial client, I went to market and there's 4 or 5 different insurance companies who've quoted on the product. And I throw the 4 or 5 different quotations into AI and I do a couple prompts, can you tell me which one here has the best coverage for cyber, or outline the exclusions that are of a concern here that we should be looking into. And it's those types of basic things that I've been using so far that really make the process a lot quicker and a lot more professional. So I can now give them a document that says, 5 different policies, and here's a breakdown. and even give a recommendation at the bottom saying, are you looking for price? Are you looking for coverage? Are you looking for a combination of both? And that would typically take an hour or so highlighting stuff in Excel documents. But now with AI, with basic usage, I think so far, I'm able to extract that data at a very quick and prompt pace.
I agree with you. The structuring, the prioritizing, it's really wonderful. Yeah. And then sometimes also the details, it
Yes.
becomes details that sometimes get lost in translation or lost in the shuffle. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
beyond internal operations, which you just explained, client relationships are paramount, obviously, as you said. So let's discuss how you maintain strong connections in this fast evolving environment of insurance. So let's talk about client retention. It's a
Mm-hmm.
priority, obviously, especially given your experience with niche markets. You were talking to me about cannabis at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you foster those crucial one-to-one relationships when the world is increasingly moving towards digital interactions? So you were mentioning that before. What's the trick to combining digital efficiency with personalized service from your perspective?
Definitely don't have the all be all answer for that. But what I try to do is mirror the behaviors of my clients.
Mm,
So some people are all they want to do is talk on the phone. So I'll make sure I carve out times to have conversations with them, chat about their family life and their business and their goals. Their son's soccer game on the weekend and really have that connection. There are some people that really don't want to have any conversations. They just want to keep it very minimal. So you kind of adapt to your environment that way. But it is a struggle, right? People have busy lives. People have everybody since COVID, I think, are saying that they've never been this busy and there's so much going on. So I really just try to figure out how my client wants to interact and then keep that version of communication with that individual and then pivot for the next person.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
I get it. So yeah, this difficult balance between the two, but I like the bespoke approach that you take to your clients from a sensitivity,
Yes.
really mirroring, as you said, that's important. Um, are you under pressure to deliver numbers for bespoke, or do you have like is this the relationship that you have with them where you agreed on numbers, for a quarter or for a year or for the three next year? Is there like a strategic plan, roadmap, metrics,
We're in full growth mode.
reporting?
We're in full growth mode right now. So the objective for Great Insurance Solutions and for Bespoke Insurance is grow the volume, right?
Mhm.
We know that there's a lot of things that we could do together. There's a lot of programs and projects that we can work on to help to reach audiences and different audiences.
Mhm.
But the overall
Mhm.
objective really is growth, and we're looking at starting off with at least a 25% increase
Uh-huh.
of GWP, just by getting out there and waving the flag and getting more involved and getting more in front of our clients and our prospects as well.
So you're kind of answering already my next question, which is how do you look to expand your reach and continue building bespoke insurance? What are your key priorities for the next 6 to 12 months? How do you plan to leverage your network and adapt to new market demands?
Just look for niches, right? So
Mhm.
what are areas that are underserved, and what are areas that we could now tap into to get more access to? I have a lot of business with non-for-profits, and
Mhm.
non-for-profits have a lot of members. So, writing a simple D&O policy for a non-for-profit that may have 10,000 members, how do I tap into that 10,000 members? How do
Mm.
we build a relationship there? Are there programs that we can build here? Are there
Mm.
group plans that we can build based on these different organizations? And that
Mm.
flexibility of being more of a smaller brokerage than the larger corporation
Sure,
type brokerages
sure.
gives you that mobility to actually find those niches and act on them immediately, as opposed to going through a little bit more red tape to get around those things.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm hearing multipliers. That's what you're looking for, right?
Mhm.
Clients that are Russian dolls, where there's
Yes,
expansion.
yes.
And then, as you said, there's flexibility, adaptiveness, so that you stay close to the ball and you can really mark points quickly, when large organization will be slower. So that's your competitive advantage. Okay,
Mhm.
well, love that, love that.
Nifty, trying to
Um,
say nifty and very, very quick on
yeah,
our feet. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. So quickly, one myth about the insurance industry that you'd like to debunk from all your years here.
One myth,
Yeah.
we're not all crooks. You know,
Okay.
people think that we're in it for the money only, and you're never going to get your claims paid. I think that's the balance that a broker plays as well, because we work with clients face to face, and that's the public. But we also work, B2C, which is working with the insurance companies as well. So,
Mm,
I try to educate my clients on the benefits of insurance based on the situations when you need it the most,
mm,
and give them examples. I had a cousin of mine that owned a very nostalgic bar in Philadelphia, and he went from one policy to another over the Christmas holiday, and his broker failed to bridge that gap between the two policies. And in those 3 days, a fire erupted and the entire place went up in flames. Right now, is that going to happen to you? Hopefully not, touch wood.
yeah.
But this is what insurance is here for. And I try to get people to understand that although it may sound like I'm sipping the Kool-Aid because I've been here for so long, insurance is a definite asset for you to have to protect yourself, protect your goods, and protect your family. And the myth is that we're not trying to pay. That's not it.
So then that leads me to my next question and this rapid fire round. Okay, what's the most underrated aspect of a successful brokerage in your mind?
The most underrated aspect,
Of a successful brokerage?
I think, overall culture. That's culture within and culture externally.
Yeah. Okay.
Making sure that you have the team that is all fighting for the same goal. Of course, we talked about GWP and growth, but the real goal of a brokerage is to service your clients,
Mm,
is to ensure proper coverage, and it's
mm,
to be their expert so that they don't have to worry about this anymore. They call you, you take care of it. If you're a commercial client, I am actually part of your team. I'm one of your employees that handles the insurance line for you,
sure.
right? And that
Sure.
success is really understanding that that's what our role is to really service those clients.
Mhm. And if you could go, if you could give yourself, like the younger version of yourself when you started today, let's say your younger self and you start today, what would be the one piece of advice, business advice, that you would give him? What it would be?
Um, that's a good question. I say just I've done it quite well, but it can always be done better.
Mhm.
Um, just network, grow your network, understand all the players that would help you to become successful,
Mm,
whether it be digging into the claims department and getting a good claims person on your side so you can find the right answers when you need them, get some background on that, whether it be a technology partner that you understand efficiencies, but
mm.
get a network that really covers the ecosystem that's required for success early, foster those relationships, and use that to help you develop your business and your network outside
Mm.
of your ecosystem.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sheldon. So I'm sure that younger self would be very grateful for those. Yeah, networking is key, and we don't always see it as such when we're young. Yeah, we think
Yeah,
that. Yeah. So to conclude, so thank you. I think it's been very, very helpful. Thank you for sharing your wealth of expertise and your successes. So when can our listeners connect with you or learn more about Bespoke Insurance and great insurance solutions?
where can they connect?
Yeah, where can they connect with you?
Yeah, for sure. You can go to our website, www.greatinsurance.ca. Um, Contact us through there. You can reach out to me on my work line, or you can just, the best place really is to contact me on the website. We're also on Instagram as well at Great
Okay.
Insurance Solutions.
Okay. And your website, as you said, is Great Insurance.
Yeah, greatinsurance.ca.
Correct. Greatinsurance.ca. I want to make sure. And the
Mhm.
name of the business, if you were to look it up, is Great Insurance Solutions. Right.
That's it.
Wonderful. Um, a lot of wealth of advice. Thank you and wisdom. So very happy to have you here today. And maybe soon, when in 1 year you will have achieved, your goals and you'll tell us about your next level again, right? And all the lesson learned in 2026. That would be a wonderful pleasure to have you back.
I'd love to come back. Really appreciated my time today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sheldon.
All
Appreciate
right,
it.
Francis. Thank you.